Hey, what's up guys? Spencer Rhodes here. So for those of you that don't know, there is a planned Rick Grimes movie trilogy that is in the works. This will be continuing where Rick Grimes' character was left off in Season 9 when he got taken away by the CRM, by the helicopter people. They wrote Rick Grimes out of the story because the actor Andrew Lincoln wanted to return to his home in the United Kingdom and spend more time with his wife and his kids, as opposed to being gone 6 months a year and coming back and being gone 6 months a year and coming back. He actually just wanted to stay in the United Kingdom and stay with his family. So rather than kill him off, they came up with the Rick Grimes movies that would continue what happened to Rick Grimes, and we would see more of Rick instead of him being dead. And they're going to film this in the United Kingdom so that Andrew Lincoln can continue to stay with his family. The movies have been planned for over a year now. Rick Grimes' last episode was over a year ago, and that was when the movies were announced, and we haven't really gotten much information since then. No teasers, no casting news. We can assume that we're going to get the characters of Anne and Heath back in some capacity, since they were taken away by the helicopters too, but we know that Rick's going to be in them. We know that we're at least getting the first movie. The second and third could possibly be canceled if the first one makes no money or something. I don't know, but we're definitely getting the first movie, 100% for sure. We haven't gotten a teaser or anything, but it's still in pre-production. They're still working on it. We should be getting more news, more information on it soon. Maybe we'll get a 2020 or 2021 release date on the movie, but Jeffrey Dean Morgan, who is the actor that plays Negan on The Walking Dead, he was asked about the Rick Grimes movie on Twitter, on his Twitter page. Someone asked him if he would like to be in the Rick Grimes movies, and he actually responds. I've got a picture of this Twitter post, but I'll just read what he says out loud. This is what he says. Well, yeah. Not sure what the deal is with those films, though. Waiting like you to hear about old Ricky Grimes movie. I have my own thing for possible films. I'm still holding out for Negan's story based on Robert Kirkman graphic novel. Yeah, he's kind of, the grammar's, it's Twitter, so no big deal. I'd love to film that. Love, love, love. So that's interesting. He's basically saying that he's like us. He doesn't have any special access, or supposedly he doesn't have any special access. He doesn't know anything about the Rick Grimes movies that we don't know. He's in the same boat as us, pretty much. He's just waiting to find out news about what's going on with those movies. But it's interesting that he mentions his movie and how he still wants to do that. There's been discussions about that, articles about that. I think Scott Gimple has talked about it before. Jeffrey has talked about it before. But there have been interviews and people talking about the possibility of a Negan movie or a Negan mini-movie or a Negan mini-series or a Negan movie in theaters. Some sort of Negan prequel movie that would adapt the Negan prequel graphic novel. Now, for those of you that don't know, okay, so there's the Walking Dead comics, then there's Negan, and Negan's in the comics. His story is actually, for the most part, pretty similar to that in the show. He's actually one of the most closely adapted comic characters to this day. They're still doing most of his dialogue, most of his comic story arcs and his storylines. And in the comics, Robert Kirkman and Charlie Adlard did a Negan prequel. So it's not like one of the comic issues. It's not like issue 111, issue 112. It's not one of the issues. It's its own separate little comic graphic novel. And that was released a couple, 2-3 years ago. And it was this, I think it was 10 parts. This little 10-part, they released it a part at a time every month, and each part was 4 pages each. So I think it ended up being a 40-page comic Negan prequel. And then once that got done, it was released all together as just a graphic novel, a 40-page graphic novel. And it's basically Negan's prequel story. It basically shows what happened with Negan when the apocalypse started. We get a glimpse of Negan's life, but before the apocalypse, who he was, what his job was, what his lifestyle was. We see that he had a wife named Lucille. Now that's already been confirmed in the show, so it's the same thing in both the show and the comics. He had a wife named Lucille, and he feels really bad because he didn't treat her well, and then she died because she had cancer. I don't think that part has been confirmed in the show. I think he told Gabriel that she got sick or something. But when she turned, he couldn't put her down. And that's a part of what really damaged him as a person. But we get that part, and then we get Negan in the apocalypse, and it shows what he was doing before he became the leader of the Saviors. It shows how he came up with the bat, how he gets the bat, how he starts to become who he is when we first meet him in the comics. It's pretty interesting. I would recommend it. Even if you're not necessarily a Walking Dead comic reader, you might want to check out the Negan prequel comic because it's its own separate compact storyline. You don't have to read the comics to read it. It's just a 40-page Negan prequel. And if you're a big TV Negan fan, you might want to read it because there's a possibility that most of what happens in the Negan prequel comic is most of Negan's backstory in the show. And what Jeffrey's saying here is that he's wanting to adapt it. He's wanting to make a movie of the Negan prequel graphic novel. And I think that'd be great. I think that'd be really cool. I mean, I think he's a terrific actor, and I think it would be really cool and really fun to see him play that part and play that part of the story. They've already given hints that his backstory is a lot like the comic backstory with the wife Lucille, and how he feels bad about how he treated her and how he lost her and everything. And I think that would be really cool. Now, there's probably going to be some variations, because I think in the show he talked about how there was another leader at the Saviors, but they might be able to still do that part, because the prequel doesn't do too much with the Saviors. It just has him and a little group of people, and it kind of implies that he's eventually going to become what he is. But it's still a good little prequel, and they could definitely adapt it. They could definitely make like a movie or a miniseries, maybe an hour-long movie, maybe a 2-hour-long movie. I don't know about 2-hour-long movie. I don't know. There's many different ways they could go about it, but I do think that it would be really cool to do that, to do the Negan movie. And as far as the Rick Grimes movies go, I've been saying this for videos now. We just have to be patient. We just have to wait probably a few more months, maybe get it a few more months, and then we'll probably start to get some really concrete info on the first movie. Possibly a teaser trailer, some casting news. We just have to hang in there. We just have to wait. I know it's been over a year since we've gotten any real information about the movie. I know it's been over a year since we've seen anything new with Rick Grimes, but unfortunately, we just have to wait. We just have to be patient. We just have to hang in there. The first Rick Grimes movie is coming. It is coming. It's just going to take a little longer. We just have to hang in there. So the good thing is, like I said, I really think in a few months from now, we could be getting that teaser trailer. I really do believe that. So let's just be patient, and it'll get here when it gets here. Anyway, that's all I have for this video, so let me know what you think in the comments below. And as always, don't be shy. Hit that like and subscribe. I'm not going anywhere. I make 1 to 2 Walking Dead videos per day, so please hit that subscribe button. Right now we are at 715 subscribers. My goal is to try to get to 800 in the next few months. So just remember, every subscriber counts, every bit of support matters, and is very, very appreciated. Hopefully we can get to that goal of 800. Anyway, with all that said, I am Spencer Rhodes, and I will see you guys later. Bye.